That's what I thought. Hello everyone. I've been adjusting this stupid camera for the past like 5 minutes and it's really making me mad. Hopefully you guys are doing well. That's probably good. Can we roll with that? Audio's good. Video's acceptable-ish. Good enough. Hello. Let me just double check the audio. Alright, yep, Braden, you are correct. Tyler Reddick has made history. Woohoo. The apathy is strong with me, personally. Don't really care all that much, to be honest. Good for him. Fun times, I suppose. Did you enjoy the race? Because I didn't really. Alright. Is everything working? We doing alright here? We got a few things to get to today. Obviously more Cody's cars. With these 4, we're gonna have 10 to go. I am so ready to be done. Thought it was alright. Ending was a little boring though. Yeah, I think Ross's loose wheel caution made it a little bit more interesting, but now I also did not watch it with audio. I just watched it because, one, I don't really like listening. I don't really like listening to NASCAR or watching it with the audio. The broadcasts are bleh for the most part. But the on-track product, it kind of takes you to like how you are at the track, or how I grew up going to races. We never really had headsets, so we didn't get to listen to the scanner audio or anything like that. We just sat there and watched cars go in circles for 2.5, 3 hours, whatever it was. And there's something peaceful about it to some degree. There's something interesting because, I mean, you just are kind of in your own head, kind of making up the commentary as you go. But yeah, the on-track product was, I don't know, not that interesting. I did see that. I think Zilich wins the race if people don't destroy him. I much rather would have seen Zilich win the race than Reddick. I was hoping SVG would catch him at the end, but it was not to be. So Jeff Gordon's 6 consecutive road course race win streak remains intact for at least another year. I don't even know if that gets broken. I think SVG is probably the only guy that could break it. I don't think anybody else is good enough on a road course anymore to have that happen. And with Reddick winning today, giving SVG or breaking his streak, I mean, he's gonna have to start it over. So, I'm not necessarily like a huge Zilich fan personally, but I don't have a problem with him, and I want to see him do well. I would much rather see him do well than, I don't know, somebody like Tyler Reddick. Something about Reddick I just don't like. I don't know. I know like part of it is because I don't care much for Toyota. I never have, being a Gordon fan. Kind of Chevrolet my whole racing career fandom. But I think part of it has to do with his kind of scummy way that he left Richard Childress Racing back in, when was it, 2020? Was it 2022? Or the 22-23 season? Like how all that went down? I thought that was pretty scummy. That how he kind of just like left in the middle or signed the contract with 2311 in the middle of the season or whatever. So I don't know. I think part of it's that. Now, what I will say is, you know, obviously I'm glad from a human being standpoint that his baby's doing better and all that stuff. So like, was it 2022? Okay. So from that aspect, like, you have to sympathize with him and empathize, whatever the word is. So, you know, I do care a little bit from the human side of it, but as far as racing goes, like, I didn't grow up watching basketball. I don't like basketball, so Michael Jordan has no place, in my opinion. I don't really care one way or the other about him for the sport. I think overall he's probably good for the sport. But with that being said, I mean, I don't know. Congrats to Reddick, congrats to 2311, blah, blah, all that stuff. But, yeah, I don't really care. So, yeah, I was hoping Zilich. I was hoping SVG would get up there, contend with him, but it was not to be. So, Braden, I hope you're doing well. Hopefully you voted in the chat. I saw we had one vote for onion rings before the stream started, and we have 2 votes now for French fries. So French fries have taken the lead. And we'll see if anybody else rolls in and votes other ways. At least MJ gives the sport some good publicity. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I don't really care much for him one way or the other. I don't really have a positive or negative view on him. Didn't grow up watching basketball. Don't really care. But for the sport as a whole, getting eyeballs on it with Michael Jordan is a positive thing. So, Anthony, I'm doing all right. Hope you're doing well. Braden, I am, yes, like I said, doing well. Glad to see that you're doing all right. Coming off of a pretty solid race weekend. I'll be honest. It was pretty good. Anthony, I gotta show you your dad's car. 1 second. I'll go get it. That was one of the things I wanted to do, or that I was gonna talk about on the stream. So let's we'll pull these out because we only have 2 decals left to put on these 4, and then we might just cut out decals and do some other stuff. But 1 second. Ooh, we got French fries are up to a 3-1 lead over onion rings. I painted Michael Mertz's car this weekend, so that thing is awesome. St. Petersburg was the best weekend. I agree. I thought the truck race was fantastic, and then the IndyCar race as well. So let's take a look at this really quick. Because I'm almost done. I'm like 90% done with this. This is Chase Elliott's car. Come on, camera. Come on, camera. There we go. This is Chase Elliott's car from Richmond. Camera? Are you kidding? From 2024, as you can see, we now have a gloss coat on it. I put it all back together, and it has the red option tires on it. So I have like 2 things left to finish on it, and then it'll be 100% done. But this car honestly turned out, it was one of the best cars I think I've ever made. So yeah, it's got the radiant red color scheme similar to the Blazer that I made. And I think it looks better than the real car. Now, granted, I am colorblind, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But I think this thing looks awesome. And again, I do like the red tire decals. I think that stands out pretty nicely. Dark red and white is a good look. I agree. I think, and the black, the white, the black, and the dark red, it all kind of, I don't know, contrasts nicely. But yeah, overall, this thing turned out great, and obviously you can see the clear coat is just immaculate. So super excited to get this one over to him at some point. But yeah, got that finished up today. I did, or yesterday. Then I also have, I have a sticker. I made stickers. My sister has a Cricut, so we cut stickers out. So I'm going to put that with the cars. And then we have these custom die-cast, I'm covering up his name. Inserts to go with them. So, oh yeah, and then these. This came with it, but I wrote 1 of 1 on there because it is 1 of 1. So, and then here's the receipt from the car when I bought it. So, yeah, really cool stuff. I'm excited. I'll be sending this one out in the not too distant future, but I wanted to show you guys while we had it here. We might work on this a little bit later, depending upon how the night goes. So, first of all, glad you guys could tune in. If you haven't, vote on the poll. Maybe I haven't tweeted one of these things out in a while. Maybe I'll send a tweet out here in a second. One second. Sorry, I am wholly unprepared. As ever, as always, get shareable link. Post. Alright, so hopefully some more people roll in. We can hang out and chat about the race weekend. You know what, let's throw these in the water while I'm sending that. I'm not entirely surprised that French fries are winning, though. Speaking of Coke cars, Priest Clash win if they're... It is. I agree. I know decals are available for it. I don't intend on making them, or making any of them. But yeah, it's a strange decision, mostly by Coca-Cola. It's mostly their decision, not Lionel's. No, I should have put live now. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, we'll close that, and we'll go back to this. Yeah, obviously it's Coca-Cola's decision to not allow their decals to be on the car. I think that's a terrible decision, but whatever. At least there's going to be a car made. I'm sure once the car goes into production and gets made and people get their hands on it, you can always add the decals later and kind of... I don't know how you're going to be able to add the raced version stuff to it, but I'm sure you'll be able to. But yeah, at least it's going to get made in some capacity. It still sucks that it can't be fully decaled like the real car, but I don't know. It is what it is. Yeah. So far, French fries, 3-2 leader over onion rings. Camera's having a terrible time focusing today. Let me just do something really quick. We'll look at this really quick. There's that. Yep. Whoopsies. Not that. This. Yeah, so that's the car we're working on today. Again, for like the 100th time. Last time I did this, it seemed to fix that problem, so let's try that. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm not gonna buy one, obviously. Not really a Ryan Preece fan. Not really a Ryan Preece hater. Kind of like Tyler Reddick, pretty apathetic to him as a driver. But just got into the chat. Is the last match? Almost. I'm on once we get these 4 done, I'm on 10 to go. So they're already painted. Maybe we'll start cutting the decals out so I can start decaling them this week. I really, really, really want to get them done. Obviously, I've been saying that for a while, but yeah, the last 10 have been painted. They're sitting over there, just waiting on the decals, and I'm hoping to do that this week. But I'm also looking to get that Coca-Cola car out of my house this week, send it off to my friend so he can get it, which I'm looking forward to. And then, yeah, like I said, I got Roots' car. I cleared it yesterday. I got the paint on it last week. I cleared it yesterday. I took a before and after picture and video, so I will be decaling that one at some point too. I just got to make time. So yeah. Welcome in to all of you lovely folks out there. Hopefully you had a good weekend. We'll get into the race review stuff shortly. But yeah, just kind of catching up, seeing how everybody is, talking about fried pickles versus onion rings, french fries. See, nobody likes fried pickles. I had them today. Pretty good. Not as good fresh, reheated. We had them reheated, but they're still pretty good. I do maintain my opinion that it has never been easier to turn off NASCAR once the race is over. Oh no. Lag. So, yeah, I didn't even listen to the last lap. We got Chick-fil-A and Bojangles. Our fries are... I'm assuming gas as a good thing. That's my assumption. I would agree, though, if that is the case, about Chick-fil-A's fries. They're fantastic. But I do also like onion rings as well. Those are really good. James, we are decaling, surprise, more of Cody's cars. We're trying to finish them up. Okay, yeah. We're going to be going over the race weekend here shortly, recapping all of the events that took place. If you haven't voted, do so in the poll. Ooh, soft pretzels. See, so yeah, but that's not really it. Well, I guess it is a side. You could get it with like beer cheese or something. That would be under the other category. See, nobody has voted for other yet. But that would fall under that category. That's why I added it. Soft pretzels with beer cheese are pretty good. Yeah, that's a good shout. That's a good point. So what we're going to probably do tonight is we're going to wrap these 4 cars up. We're going to put the other 4 together, get them off my desk. There's one thing that I have to do left on the Coca-Cola car from a decaling standpoint, and that is putting a decal on the roof camera, the rear-facing roof camera. We'll be doing that a little bit later probably, and then that'll probably carry us to the end of the stream. If you want to do it, do you want to make a video on how you make decals for the NASCAR diecast? I could. I don't think it would be that easy. It's been a hot minute since Braden, you gotta have soft pretzels. They're good stuff. My wife got hurt when we got our wings. She got soft pretzels. I got fried pickles, and I had some of the soft pretzel, and it was good. It was good. I don't know how well I could turn making the decals into a video. I would have to screen record myself working on them, and I don't know, it's not a very linear process, I guess we'll call it. There's a lot of me going to a different screen to look at other pictures. Then I'm also, once I get them all kind of sized correctly, I have to print them off and see if they fit the car. I don't know how well I could translate that into a video for you guys. If I ever do get a new computer or something for better streaming, and I wrap all of it up into one computer where I stream and work on the decals and do all of that all on the same computer, we could in theory screen capture me working on them, and we could do a stream like that. But yeah, I don't know how well I'd be able to turn it into a video for you guys. The choice wing sauce, I mean, we could definitely do that for another poll at another time. But I mean, I am a Buckeye barbecue person. There's a Quaker Steak and Lube here close to my hometown. They have some great sauces, some great wings. And definitely Buckeye barbecue is my favorite. It's spicy, but it tastes good. It's got good flavor, and it's not like burn your face off hot either, which is good. I'm making 50 of these, James. This is 40, 41, 42, 43, right? No, wait. Yeah, so no. 38, 39, 37, 38, 39, 40. So I have 10 more to go. And they're painted, just awaiting decals. So the decal process will happen. I might do some off camera just to try and get them done, because I really, really want to be done with these cars. Quaker is great, especially their chicken sandwich. I love Quaker Steak and Lube. One of my favorite restaurants. I go there very often. Another thing, not only their chicken sandwich is good, but also the chicken wrap. I love the chicken wrap, especially since you can put whatever flavor you want on your chicken, either grilled or breaded. And obviously, I pretty much always go Buckeye Barbecue when I do that. But it's so good. Such a good restaurant, and it's close to my house. It's only like, I don't know, 20 minutes away. So, great time. One of my favorite restaurants. And they used to be in NASCAR. They used to sponsor races. They used to be a little bit involved. That is no longer the case, really, but they do still have... The one by us went through a little bit of a renovations, but they do still have a lot of the NASCAR memorabilia. There was actually a second one close to us that closed down not too long ago, which was sad, of course. But yeah, that was kind of the genesis of today's question, because we had Quaker Steak for lunch today. And of course, with that was today's poll question. All right. So, should we get into the race stuff or wait a little bit? You guys tell me. I'll do whatever you want. If you want to get into it right this second, or if you just want to keep talking about food, I'm fine with either. I have it all pulled up on the other screen over there, just kind of waiting in the wings. Oh, waiting in the wings. I love wings. Are you in the club? I like Cajun dry rub. That's funny because it rhymed. Yeah. Well, kind of. I mean, I have the frequent flyer card for Quaker Steak. But yeah, the Cajun dry rub's good. I like, obviously, like I said, the Buckeye barbecue. Smoked honey jalapeno is another really good flavor that they have. Arizona ranch is pretty good. Supercharged is a little too hot. Like, I can tolerate it, but it's not really an enjoyable hot. So I don't really like to get supercharged all that often. What else? Then there are some other like lower heat sauces that are pretty good, but I typically stay on the higher end of the hotness scale, just because the Scoville scale, just because I like a little spice with my chicken wings. But we have Looks like we have 6 people here, so that's fun. We'll get talking about the race stuff in a second. If you guys haven't voted on the poll, please do so. Throw your favorite side in there, and if you have one that is not listed, throw a poll in the other, and let me know in the chat. Yeah, the all-you-can-eat wings was awesome because you could just keep getting different flavors. I did like that because when we used to go, we would go as a group. So, you know, you could basically try all of the flavors because some people would get some people would get a different flavor. So like everybody would, you know, you could split a few wings here and there. So yeah, that was a fun time. Hopefully they bring that back. I don't know if they will. Everything that typically goes away hardly ever comes back, and it's really sad. So anyway, personally, I'm not really a wing guy, but Wingstop Cajun Rub on their chicken sandwich. So you seem to like the chicken sandwiches, which I have nothing wrong with a chicken sandwich. I do like a good chicken sandwich, but I do love wings as well. Today though, I don't often, but I did get breaded boneless wings because I wanted to dip them in blue cheese. Perhaps an unpopular opinion. I know some people don't like blue cheese. Some people are ranch people. Personally, I like blue cheese best. So let's pull up. If that wasn't obvious. Hey, chicken sandwiches are great. Can't be hating. Can't be hating on them. Now, do you get grilled chicken or breaded or fried chicken on your chicken sandwiches? I've kind of honestly been liking the grilled chicken, but I like fried / breaded. That's good as well. I don't really have anything negative to say about it. I like all kinds of chicken. Except for like the ultra processed stuff. That's not my favorite. All right. You know what? I'm going to pull up, because I also did watch a little bit. Not really a ton. Breaded. Breaded is good. I have no qualms with breaded. I'm also going to pull up these results. All right. So, it's a little bit different format. Alright, anyway, we'll start with the first race of the weekend. So you guys ready to get into it? We'll throw that back up on the screen and we'll do this. It's a little bit different. Okay. There we go. We're learning. We're doing. All right. So the Truck Series race at St. Petersburg, Russia. Just kidding. No, St. Petersburg in Florida. I think it was my favorite race of the weekend. I really liked it. I liked that it was pretty clean, relatively speaking. There weren't too many incidents. There were a few. The racing was pretty good from the truck drivers. They all did a really good job. And I thought that was so I've been impressed with the Truck Series so far this year. I don't know if they had to sit down and got a talking to or what, but I've been impressed with the racing in the Truck Series. It is a lot cleaner this year for some reason. And that's a really, really welcome change in my opinion. I was impressed with everybody's skills and abilities on track. They did well. I was a little disappointed that Hinchcliffe couldn't get up there closer at the end. He had a couple incidents that kind of knocked him back, but to come back and finish a top 10 was awesome. Yeah, I'm not too familiar, Braden, with Landon Lewis, but a top 10 finish, was this his first start? I'm not sure. I don't really know about him. It was also good to see Colin Braun back up in the Truck Series. But, of course, at the end of the day, you had your regulars shining the brightest, as old Mamba Smith likes to say. So you had Lane Riggs getting the dub, which he started 28th, right? Yeah, he started 28th, drove his way all the way up there, and had a really, really strong truck. Now, he had some fueling issues potentially at the end. Pickup with the back and forth motion of the truck. You know, I think they said the pickup was on the passenger side, so every time they turned into the passenger side, did a right hand, the fuel would flow away from the pickup. So they were having some issues with that, but ran a really good race. Had some decent damage on the race truck, so hopefully they get a die cast of that. I'm pretty sure he's a Cars Tour driver. Well, I think the Cars Tour. All right, what I'll say is I was super happy that the IndyCar and the Truck Series kind of got together and ran this weekend. I'm also looking forward to next weekend with the Cup Series and the IndyCar Series. I think there needs to be more of that. I think the American Motorsports Series need to come together more and do different events together. So if that's a Cars Tour race, if that's an IndyCar Series race, you know, with Cup or whatever, I think that's a good thing across the board for the sport. I said this on Thursday when we streamed last. I'll reiterate it again. I think overall that's a positive, and I think they need to continue doing that. Now, with that being said, again, the truck race, Greg, you are in agreement with Braden. I was kind of hoping for a ThorSport win. I don't particularly care much for the ThorSport drivers necessarily, but the team is located about an hour and a half away from my house, so they're the hometown team for me personally, so I'd like to see them win. But if they couldn't get the dub, I was glad to see Lane Riggs win, because I kind of like Lane. I remember watching his dad race, Scott Riggs. So it's kind of cool to see Lane in the truck and doing well. But yeah, so if they do end up making that diecast, it was a cool diecast. There was a decent amount of damage on it, so hopefully they can replicate that well. Ty Majeski fan, so that hurt. I do like Ty. I don't dislike Ty. But yeah, I'm not necessarily like super for or against him, but he seems like a solid dude. Yeah, Ben Rhodes. I don't think I like Ben Rhodes. I'm not really sure, to be honest. What else? Caden Honeycutt. I think he spun at some point or overshot one of the corners and had to go into the runoff and reset, regroup. Daniel Hemrick was kind of there all day. Like I said, Colin Braun, James Hinchcliffe. I was hoping to see Hinchcliffe got into what was his name? Dario Franchitti, which was cool to also see Dario Franchitti out there. What else? Justin Haley ran okay. That was pretty much it. I don't think there were any other like super big surprises. Personally, I'm glad ThorSport's having Mercedes. Maybe it's a good thing. Yeah, they're off to a decent start. What are they up to? Are they down to 3 full-time trucks, or do they still have 4? So they have Ty Majeski, Ben Rhodes, Cole Butcher, Jake Garcia. So are they at 4 trucks? I think I said this the other day. I think they need to focus on less trucks. They need to be like a 3-truck operation, with maybe having a 4th sometimes. I think they spread their resources a little too thin, which prevents them from doing really, really well. They have had good seasons with 4 or 5 truck operations, but I think after a while it just kind of it grinds everybody down and wears everybody down. So hopefully they can continue to do well this season. But yeah, Lane Riggs getting the dub in a mostly clean race. There were a few incidents, but overall I was pretty pleased with it. Again, I think that was my favorite race of the weekend. Oh, I didn't want to do this, but I will talk about the booth. Michael Waltrip and Jamie Little. Who was the IndyCar guy? Townsend Bell, I think. I've listened to IndyCar races. I've listened to him commentate before. It's just so much better than Michael Waltrip and Jamie Little. I did listen to it a little bit because I kind of wanted to hear what they were talking about, but I very quickly remembered why I don't listen to the race broadcast anymore. And I typically just watch the racing unfold. It's not good. It's not good. And Townsend Bell, I think that was who was in the booth with him. I'm pretty sure. He made him look bad because of how good he was. So, yeah, that was probably the last thing I'll say on the truck race, unless you guys, Mike was on something that they were, yeah, listen, they weren't even hiding it. Yeah, I agree. He was it was weird. He was all over the place. I like Jamie Little. I have always liked Jamie Little, but she is a great pit road reporter, not a race announcer. So I don't know if they continue. I don't know if they want to continue with her in the booth, but hopefully that changes. And again, I'm not saying this because I don't like Jamie Little. It was like Jeff Gordon in the booth. I really, really liked him as a driver. Didn't really like him in the booth. And I don't want to say it kind of like tarnished his image, in my opinion, but I was like, this isn't the same Jeff Gordon that I wanted to watch on a week-to-week basis. Just hearing him in the booth. And he had great insight, but he just, I don't know, it just wasn't the same. I want to make all Ty's cars from this year. I'm assuming in 164, because that's a lot of cars, like 30 cars or trucks. I think she's super sweet to the drivers and very nice and kind. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. She could be all of those things, but I don't think that translates well to being in the booth. I think it's great on pit road and in the garage. She always gave great interviews and always had a good time, a smile on her face, and really good insight while being the pit road reporter or the in-garage reporter, but I just don't think she's got it in the booth. Yeah, I agree with the Eric Brennan comment. I agree, Braden. Menards trucks. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to think how many. They got a lot of races, so making all the MBM cars from 20. Yeah, I remember you saying that. You were making like a ton of them and you were selling some too. So that's pretty much it for the truck series race. I guess one other thing. I was hoping Frankie Muniz would do well. He didn't do terrible. You stripped and wire brushed 35 cars today. That is quite the day you had. I've been there. I've sandblasted a lot of cars in a day. I don't know if I've done 35, but that's a lot. But yeah, I was hoping Frankie Muniz would do a little bit better, but you know, this was everybody's first street course, but you know, Frankie's he's getting there. So yeah, good on Lane Riggs for getting the win. I like him winning. He seems like a pretty cool dude. So I think he'll have a good year. This year. But front row winning both of the first 3 races. I mean, Kyle Busch won the other one, but I agree. Stripping the cars down is the worst part. I hate doing it, but you got to do it, unfortunately. So now we'll move over here to the IndyCar series. and I didn't really watch much of. I kind of like listened to it, watched half of it, kind of deal, because I was kind of working on other things. I was watching soccer too, Premier League. Trucks was a 10 out of 10. O'Reilly was a 2 out of 10. Cup was a 1 out of 10. I don't know if I would go that low for those two, but but let's talk about the IndyCar race for a second. I know that most of you guys are in here for NASCAR. I am trying to get into IndyCar more. I do like it. I think it's fascinating. I like the fact that they have a full season championship. I like the fact that they don't have stages. The cars are cool. The broadcasts are good. So I thought overall it was, pretty uneventful. There wasn't a ton that happened. Palou winning again, it's kind of sucky because the dude just wins everything. We'll talk about that in a minute when we get to today's race. But yeah, overall, the IndyCar race was all right. I was hoping Kyle Kirkwood would get at least a podium, but he did not. So he finished 4th, 1 spot off the podium. Palou winning again. I mean, last year he won everything. This year he's winning everything, or he won the first race. So, good start to the season for Kirkwood. Hoping that he can continue to do well, maybe pick up some wins, finish high in the points. So, he's from Jupiter, Florida, and my wife's favorite vacation spot is Jupiter, and we were just down there last 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, for vacation. So that's kind of why I want to see him do well. I still haven't finished his car from Mid-Ohio last year. It's kind of on the side table at the moment. I'll get to it. But yeah, so we'll just run through the running order. I mean, Palou led the most laps. Looks like none of Majeski's 20 on Otaiza. I might not even be able to make. I don't know what to tell you on that. You might just have to go back and make all of his 2025 cars and then catch up once they start coming out with the 26 cars. But yeah, you see the standings here. Palou, McLaughlin, Lundgaard, Kirkwood, Pato Award, Marcus Ericsson, Newgarden, Grosjean, Rinus VK. Let's see. I was surprised that what was I surprised? Oh yeah, Willpower. No, not Willpower. Yeah, Willpower. I think he crashed or got into the wall or something. I was pretty surprised that. I think this was his debut with Andretti. So, interesting to see. Same thing with Santino Ferrucci. He wrecked early with Mick Schumacher. So that was strange. But overall, one thing I will say, so pumped for Tuesday. Got like 24 sets coming in. Oh, geez, that's a lot of decals. Holy cow. I will continue to say this about... I can understand that. I'm like, Greg, this year I'm going to try. Last year, I kind of was on the outskirts of it. I did go to Mid-Ohio last year, and it was fun. ECR. Yeah, I agree, Braden. Earnhardt Childress Racing. I agree. I did go to Mid-Ohio last year, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I thought the experience was good. To be honest, I kind of liked it more than a NASCAR race. But I'm going to try to get more into IndyCar this year. I do find it fascinating. I think the broadcasts are better. I think the on-track quality of the Cup Series is not good enough most of the time that it has brought my expectations down. And I don't think that the IndyCar Series is that exciting necessarily all the time, but because Cup has been so poor and kind of boring, that I'm becoming more interested in IndyCar. I'm in a really weird headspace with all of it because I don't really know what to make of it. Because I still want to like NASCAR, and I do like the O'Reilly Series the best. I will maintain that. That's still my number one series. but I think just being very apathetic towards Cup is pushing me more towards IndyCar or other forms of racing. Bold. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get into IndyCar. It's $25 for the whole year for like IndyCar Live or whatever. The only thing is in the United States anyway, you don't get to watch the races live. You get a 24-hour delay on everything. And I was thinking about that. $25 for the whole year. It's pretty cheap to get all of that. Yes, it is a day delay, so you would watch everything the day after. You wouldn't actually catch anything live. However, my thought process is this. I have a lot of things that I talk about NASCAR like the day of or honestly the day after, really, on the Juan L Racing forum, whether it's YouTube where I'm watching other people, or, you know, we're talking about it in the chat here. I kind of need to be up on the NASCAR information like that day. But as far as IndyCar goes, like I don't really talk to anybody about it, so I'm thinking if my channel gets monetized and if I can get to that $25 threshold, I'll probably buy the IndyCar Live thing so that I can watch all of the races and kind of be more involved in it. That or put up an antenna at my house so I can get Fox, because all of IndyCar is on Fox. So yeah, that's IndyCar for the weekend. Like I said, I'm gonna probably try to get more into it, but oh, you have a very bold prediction, not perdition. I don't even know what perdition is. Hold on, let me look that up. Is that even a word? Perdition. Oh. Yeah, I think you meant prediction. That's why I was confused. Kyle Larson won't win a race this year? That is bold, and I don't see that happening. I mean, I also didn't see Reddick winning 3 races to start the year. Like, of all the great drivers in NASCAR history, don't get me wrong, Reddick's a good driver, but like Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, I mean, even Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth. You're telling me that none of those drivers could do it, but Tyler Reddick could? It's all good, Greg. I don't know. I'm not trying to like make this a hate on Reddick stream, but like, come on. Tyler Reddick, he's good, but he's not that good. I think there's some shenanigans at play with the designs on the cars, getting past the laser scans, how they're messing with the bodies of the cars in different areas because of the laser scans, and how they can trick the eyes, the optical scanning and stuff. That, and there might be some shenanigans taking place since Jordan won the lawsuit against them. Rigged. Yeah, I don't know about rigged, but yeah, there might be some shenanigans taking place. Can't confirm that, can't say that definitively, but that's my opinion. Potentially. Yeah, he hasn't won since spring Kansas, but he's still a pretty good driver behind the wheel. What do you think? I'm assuming you're talking about Kyle. Yeah, I think Kyle will win a race at some point. All right, so we got that. We got trucks. Let's go to the O'Reilly series. SVG winning was not a surprise. What was a surprise was Zilich not being up there. And Zilich was not up there because he had brake issues. And then when he was working his way back up there, he got Corey Dade, which I am becoming a very anti-Corey Dade person after what he did to Ryan Sieg last week, and then this week what he did to Connor Zilich. I thought that was disappointing. So Tyler's going 4-4. You think so? I don't know. Phoenix. Honestly, at this point, I hope Tyler Reddick just wins all 36 races this year. why not? Why not? That'll be fun. That'll make for a story. Michael Jordan goes 36 for 36, the perfect season. Nothing breaks on the car the whole year. Doesn't have any cautions that don't go his way. Bring it on. Maybe I'll become more of a fan just for the cynical part of me. But yeah, SVG actually, he didn't dominate this race. I know he won stage 1, finished in the top 5 in stage 2. Everybody gangster until Corday tears the whole field of face. MJ go. Yeah, Corey Day is gonna win at Phoenix, and something weird's gonna happen. Corey Day is not the go for Red Connor, but Naughty is the go. Oh, yeah, I was super disappointed in that last week for the Sieg boys. But anyway, yeah, so I was a little surprised that Ross didn't run better. I know he was in the 32 car, so it's not like top tier equipment, but I was a little surprised he wasn't up there. What does kind of surprise me is how well Austin Hill did on the road course. After 3 races, like, Austin Hill's looking pretty good. I don't want to say it because I don't like him, but, looking pretty good. Justin Allgaier had a tire go down, so to come back from that was good. But yeah, SVG leading 5 different times for 31 laps. I mean, it was inevitable yesterday. And honestly, the racing was better than today. I enjoyed the race overall better yesterday. My boy Ryan Sieg getting almost a top 15 finish. They won stage 2. Well, I must have tuned out for a little bit. Yeah, Austin Hill has a chance. Yep, there is a chance. But yeah, Zilich getting spun there by Corey Day was disappointing. What else? That was pretty much it. There wasn't a ton that happened, really. Just the racing was overall better. Kyle Sieg got a top 25 finish, which was good for them as well. I texted my buddy on Ryan's team, and I'm like, hey, you guys came home with almost a top 15, brought the car home in one piece, and he's like, yeah, the car really wasn't in one piece. It was beat to heck. So he didn't send me any pictures, but good to see those guys. Had a solid day. Didn't get torn up too bad, but yeah, SVG winning, I was happy with that, of course, but yeah, other than that, not a ton to say about the O'Reilly race. I watched most of it and kind of listened to the end of it. Yeah, I continue to say that series is more entertaining and more interesting than Sunday's races, than the Cup Series. I think you have a combination of the cars being better. I hate Sunday's cars. I hate the Cup cars. They suck, especially from a fan standpoint. I don't like them. I don't like the way they look. I don't like the way they race most of the time. Today was evident of that, but yesterday was a good race. I really enjoyed the O'Reilly race for what I watched of it. So Phoenix will probably be good next week for them as well. I was happy that, well, I guess we could talk about Sunday. So we'll flip over to Sunday. Anything else on yesterday's race, O'Reilly? Anything else? Going once, going twice. Also, if you guys haven't voted on the poll, please do so. Okay, today's race. Dang, William Byron dropped all the way to 13th. How embarrassing. He should have pitted on that last caution. I knew that was going to happen. I didn't even look at the results after the race. This is the first time we're going through them. I thought that was a terrible decision to not pit. I think everybody should have pitted. Or, well, I think once the leader stayed out, then everybody else should have pitted. So, like SVG staying out. Who else stayed out? Obviously, Byron stayed out. I think Larson might have stayed out. I know Ryan Blaney did. I don't know. Whoever else stayed out, I thought that was a terrible decision. I think once you saw the leader stay, you should have pitted. Why I'm not on the top of the box of the crew as a crew chief, who knows? Because, like, if Reddick stays out and everybody else pits, Reddick's a sitting duck. If Reddick stays out, SVG stays out, and a few other drivers, but you have most of the field pitting, you're going to get through the first drivers in a couple laps with the new tires. Although the new tires didn't really do that much. Christopher Bell, I thought was going to run him down, but he didn't. Didn't even get to SVG. You like the next gens in your opinion? Love the way that. I can understand that. I can understand why people would like the way they look. I don't, but I can understand why you do. Zilich will win a cup race. I have winning it. I hope so. I hope he wins. I think he got spun twice today. I know he got spun early. I think he got spun again late. Yeah, I think he'll get a win too. Will it be a road course? Probably. Will he win on a road course before he wins on an oval? Probably. I think that's a safe bet. It's kind of funny because, like, William Byron ran in the top, pretty much the top 5 all day. Made one bad pit decision, and then they finished 13th. Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, they were like no-shows all day, and then that last pit stop, they pitted, got tires, and then were able to drive their way up into the top 10. SVG, Reddick, they were up front all day. Christopher Bell, Ty Gibbs, Michael Motel, those guys were all pretty much up front all day. I mean, I guess we do. We don't necessarily have to. We could just stop watching. Like I said, it's so much easier to turn NASCAR off than it has ever been. I said this last year. I maintain that this year. Like, my interest level is very low compared to what it used to be. A lot of that has to do with Gordon retiring and just my general apathy for the series. I'm a little bit more interested because they brought the chase back. I hated the chase when it was like the original form of it. Then they brought the playoffs, and I hated that even more. So, you know, going back to the chase is a step in the right direction, but I don't know. Yeah, we can accept change, I suppose, but I don't have to like it. The 2014 version of the Gen 6 was the best. The high horsepower, high downforce. Those cars could make some speed. They sounded good. They looked good, but yeah, I mean, this is a Gen 6 car. What we're working on, the ARCA series still runs it. It's a beautiful looking car. That's my opinion. And that's kind of what the O'Reilly series is, a little bit of that. I loved Harvick when he retired. Yeah, that's kind of the thing about Gordon too, is like when he retired, he went into the booth, and I tried to watch 2016, and I just didn't care as much. Like, don't want to collect. You don't. There are still things I want to collect from Gordon's. I pretty much have all that I need. I mean, I guess I don't really need any cars necessarily, but there are cars that I want to go back and make at some point, which I will do. But what I will tell you is, if you guys haven't, go to YouTube, find Voti, V-O-T-I. He posts a lot of old races from the late 2000s to early 2010s. He's in 2010 right now in his postings. I will watch those races and just get hit with all the nostalgia in the world. The way that the cars were back in 2010, 2009, whatever, the COTs. Those races, the way the cars looked, the way they sounded, the way the broadcasts were, the drivers that were in the field back then, like, good times. Really, really, really good times. Especially compared to what we have now. How about an all-star race with... That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Somebody would get hurt because they're all old, It's just not going to happen. Would it pull the numbers? Would it get people there? Yes. Would a lot of people come out of the woodwork to see it? Yes. Is it a good idea? Kind of, but I don't know how well it would work. Would a lot of people watch it? Probably. But yeah, so yeah, the road course today, COTA, it's a great facility. I don't know. I just have such a hard time about the cars. Yep. Vody's the GOAT. If you have, like, I've never interacted with him. I've never, exchanged messages or anything. I don't even know who he is, but he has preserved, he's a true historian of the sport. He has preserved kind of a weird era because it was like the downturn of NASCAR. The late 2000s, early 2010s was kind of when NASCAR regressed in a lot of ways. But there's something nostalgic about it. And yes, he has all of them in HD, and it's so good. By the way, the painted cars, the glossy finish on the cars were beautiful back then, especially in HD, to your point, Braden. I miss the days, because we would go to Michigan pretty much every year. I miss the days when we'd get right up in front of the grain, or right in front of the catch fence, and like on the pace laps, you'd see the cars going by, and the sun would be shining off them. They were so crisp, so shiny, so beautiful. The paint on them was vibrant. Now with the wraps, you don't really get that, which is disappointing. But yes, Vody is goated. He's awesome. He's posted a ton of great content. So if you guys haven't, go check out his stuff. I've caught myself watching tons of races and the practices and qualifying too. I mean, just honestly, there was the Speed Channel era. So practice and qualifying would be on Speed, and the Speed Channel music just hits like a ton of bricks in the nostalgia bank. Yeah, it would have been weird to see that. Not, it'd be weird. Well, speaking of Speed, the Speed Channel name, branding, whatever, coming back as a podcast. I haven't watched any. I don't really care much for podcasts, to be honest with you. I don't really watch Dale Jr.'s podcast, which maybe I should, because I like the history and stuff. Some of the older drivers that he talks to. But, yeah. What if Dale never died? NASCAR would be in Gen 6 still. NASCAR would still be in the Gen 4 if Dale never died. They would have never had the COT. Gen 4 would be the car that they'd still be in. Don't get me wrong, I like the Gen 6, but the COT was, the large part of that was safety. Like, the whole point of that car was safety innovation. A very large point of that car was safety innovation. So, moving the driver's head away from the roof, increasing the size of the car, crush panels, all that kind of stuff, crumble zones. So, yeah, the Gen 4 raced the best, but it was not the safest car. I so desperately wish they could go back to the Gen 4 car with some safety. Like the Speed, they actually should have brought back Speed Channel since they're still... I agree with you, Braden, in the... Dale and his... Yeah, Greg, he probably would say that. He probably would have said that about the COT, though, the Gen 5, back in like 2006 when they were developing it. Select NASCAR cover 96%. Yeah, you could. Braden, you're 100% right. I agree. You have a condensed motorsports channel again where you can watch everything, and then they could, you know what? You could throw Cars Tour on there. You could throw some local dirt track races on there to fill time. You could throw MotoGP back on there, or F1 or IMSA. You could, like, there is a market for it. I fully believe that there is a market for it, because you could have all of these different forms of racing on there. But I don't know. I really wish they would bring it back in some capacity. I think, honestly, they should just live stream their races on, like, YouTube or Rumble or Kick or something. Try that. If they want to reach a younger audience, that would be a way to do it. Or put, like, the in-car cameras all on YouTube or something, or Rumble or Kick or one of the Twitch, one of the streaming services, like the gaming streaming services. Being tied to traditional media is not the route forward, in my opinion. But they signed a big deal for a lot of money, because that's all they were after. I still don't think they're actually after growing the sport. They just want money. It's kind of what everything is. They just want money. Why does no one say so badly, or why does no one talk about it? Yeah, that one's kind of disappointing. I think a lot of it probably has to do with the car that he's in. I don't think the 4 car is the best. I think that's probably a big part of it. Put Keelan in the car. I don't think he's old enough. I don't think putting him in the car would solve that problem either, though. I think a lot of it has to do with the car and the team. But yeah, because isn't that part of front row? If I'm not mistaken. He's just not a cup driver, not to mention he isn't in great equipment. Yeah, I think he could be a Justin Allgaier or Elliott Sadler, somebody that kind of makes their living in the O'Reilly series. But yeah, I think a lot of it also has to do with the car that he's in. I just don't think it's a good ride. I don't think the 4 car has it. Harvick punched way above his weight with that car. He was with Legacy and Lame Duck year with Chevy, dying SHR and expanded effort. It was soon NASCAR time. Yeah, I don't think he's, to your point, I don't know if he's ever got like a really, really good opportunity in the Cup Series, but I think he'd probably be better in the O'Reilly Series full time. Ty Gibbs having a good race was pretty surprising. I don't know. What else? What else is there to discuss? Ross losing a wheel was disappointing. I like Ross. Harvick had a truck team. He had Kevin Harvick Incorporated years ago. He gave Elliott Sadler a ride in the truck series. What else? Carson Hocevar getting outrun by Cody Ware is kind of funny. But I mean, Eric Jones, Austin Cindric getting outrun by Cody Ware is pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know. I was pretty apathetic about today's race. I joked where I was like, I'm finally, like, they're getting back to actual racing. Greg, it would be pretty cool again. I agree. They had some cool trucks, some cool paint schemes back in the day, and they ran well. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't care too much for today's race. I know it was like real racing, and we had a green flag finish, which was cool, but I don't know. The car on the road courses there's a lot to be desired. So, yeah, pretty disappointing into the race. Reddick winning, woohoo, good for him. Don't care too much. History, sure, of all drivers in NASCAR history to win the first 3, it's Reddick. Okay, whatever. But that's pretty much all I had as far as the being a Toyota car is considering Keeling's. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I had. Ooh, look, shoes. Do you guys need walking shoes for elderly with poor balance? Because so what soul has them? Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, I think Toyota team, that would be pretty weird. I think what's probably going to happen with Keelan is something similar to probably like a William Byron situation, where he races with Toyota for a little bit, and then nice feet. Yeah. Hey, if this NASCAR YouTubing thing doesn't really work out, I could just start like an OnlyFans feet page or something. There were a couple other drivers that started with Toyota and then jumped manufacturers, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully he does well. He always, I don't know. He's got all the resources, so he better be good. That's all I can say. Your dad's Kevin Harvick. He knows everybody. He raced for a long time. I could see him being in the 11. Yeah, probably. That's a good shout, Braden. I think that's true. Greg, no. That's weird. No. Were you the one that asked Moobs the same question about his iRacing? To see how his... That one makes a little bit more sense because he's like actually driving and working pedals. But yeah, I could see the 11 truck being a Keelan truck in a few years. I think that's a fair shout from you. He'll probably do well. I mean, he should do well. It's really weird though. I haven't heard anything about Gordon's kids. Do they even race? Do they even want to race? I kind of checked out on Gordon ever since, like I said, ever since the TV deal thing. I guess we could talk about... Do you guys want to talk any more about the race? Because I could talk about Premier League. I don't know if you guys even like the Premier League, but I could talk about it. Some stuff went down this weekend. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to ask John Hunter at New Hampshire this year if Fox can show it. Dude, you're so weird. Respect to the bit. I will say that. I appreciate your commitment to the bit. Oh. All right, future customs. That's a good point. Actually, since we're here, it's not necessarily that I want to do, that I will be doing. So hold on, let me get this really quick. This car I cleared over the weekend. This is Mr. Roots's Pop-Tart Michigan Win car. Slapped a hefty coat of clear on it. The Daganites, yeah, I'll be working on those ones at some point. I don't know when yet. That's kind of like future. I just wanted to buy the decals right away when they came out. There we go. But this is the Pop-Tart car. Beautiful blue. I still have to wet sand it. I'm going to give it about a week to dry. But I love this blue color. It's pretty neat. It's not really a dark blue. It's like a darker sky blue. Turned out fantastic. I love the color. I'll pull the decals out here. I hope so. I think I'm super excited about it. I have the decals. Yeah, right here. So I think I've showed you guys this. Don't screenshot it and send it to them because this is a surprise, but this is what's going to go on it. So this is going to be my how-to video. I'm going to give you guys a whole how to make these cars, and I'll post it as an actual video. And I'll do a bunch of editing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this thing is, it's going to be fun. Not only do we have the full Pop-Tart decals, but we also have, all of the decals for confetti as well for Michigan, since it's the Michigan car. So, used to watch movies a lot back in COVID. My dad thought it was He's got the energy. He's a wild dude. He's super genuine though. I've interacted with him away from streams and stuff, and nothing but positive things to say about him. So he's crazy. He's got some wicked energy. I don't have that. Definitely a different style. You know, we're kind of more laid back, more subdued on this channel. He's all about it on his. But yeah, I catch a lot of his streams. I probably watch most of his videos that he posts too. It's always good content. I also grew up playing NASCAR games, so a lot of the older games I resonate with. I don't really have a whole lot of time to play video games anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, his stuff's good. And he's up to 80,000 subscribers, so that's pretty cool for him, obviously. I did actually play NASCAR 15 the other day. I broke out the PS3 and hopped back on, and yeah, it was a good time. I had a lot of fun for a championship week. I mean, you can do whatever you want, unless that's what he did. I don't remember that. I also like Murph. I've interacted with him as well multiple times. I made him a car. He's super nice. Only positive things to say about him. I've never interacted with Claybull, but everything seems to be positive about him as well. So it's a pretty neat community. Pretty good people all around. And then, yeah, obviously, Braden, I see you sometimes in what's his name? Murph's streams. So, yeah, it's a pretty neat community of NASCAR gaming people. I'm kind of like on the very, very edge of that just because I'm somewhat acquainted with them. You're on John's YouTube? Who's John? I mean, I'll be honest, John's a pretty generic name, pretty common name. Or are you talking about John Hunter Nemechek? I don't want to pull it up because I don't want to get copyright stricken. I guess we can pull it up and just pause it. Like, we don't have to play it. And technically, this is transformative content. So, are you talking about John Hunter Nemechek? Like we got in his video at the start of it from New Hampshire week. So how long ago was that? Like we got in his video at the start of it from New Hampshire Motors Week. He has a YouTube channel. All right, hold on. Let me finish this spoiler and then we can pull it up. We'll pull it up just to see what kind of shenanigans you're talking about. As far as other future projects go, though, cutest driver on track. Dude, he's married. That's weird. And he's got kids. I know it's all in good fun. Just joking. How can you tell that he's cute? He's got a helmet on, though. I do like the more comical, comedic interactions. Like that one's pretty harmless. So you said it's from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway weekend. I'll find that in a second. But as far as other cars go, I'm going to be ordering boxes probably tonight. I got to text my buddy. He never responded. I'm making my... We got into his hauler too. So you guys are some serious dudes. Alright, so YouTube. Let's see, so it's John Hunter Nemechek's, right? John's. My sister was a huge fan of his dad, Joe Nemechek, mainly because of the last name, to be honest. Alright, let's see. Oh wait, that's not right. Alright, hold on. See, now we're getting off on a tangent. You've derailed the stream. But that's okay. It's fine. John Hunter let's see. He has 1.39 million subscribers. What a boss. All right. He only has 4 videos. What? Why can't I see the rest of them? Pit stops, behind the scenes, shorts. Is it a short or an actual video? Bro's got a lot of shorts. Look at the shorts. The numbers are insane for something NASCAR related. Like multiple thousands of views. 40,000 views, 30-something thousand views. 40+ thousand views, 38,000, 36,000. Dude knows how to play the algorithm. Is it, Greg? Is it a short or an actual video? Like for the video. So is it a video or a short? I'm assuming you mean like Boston Bruins, like the hockey team. Does he just, because he doesn't have many videos, it's just pretty much all shorts. It's a video. He only has 4 videos on his channel. Most popular. Whoa, almost 1 billion? What? Hold on. Popular. Wow, 662 million. Dude, that's crazy. I mean, they drop off. 417, 68, 38, 19, 12, 10, 10, 7.8, 4.5, 3.2, 2.7, like a ton of shorts over 1 million views. Yeah, Greg, he only has 4 videos on his channel. You're gonna have to, I don't know, you're gonna have to hit him up and ask him. You were hyping it up. You were getting me all excited to see this goofy video, and now it's not even there. What an L. What an L. That's crazy, though. How is he not talked about more? Because he's in... You might have footage of it. All right, if you have footage of it, post it to your channel. Or Twitter or something. Oh, but I'm not signed in on this computer on Twitter. You have a YouTube channel, don't you? I think we talked about this last time. Pretty sure I subscribed. I don't remember. All right, so we're gonna wrap these up. But anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna work on my Watkins Glen car. I have it over there. I can bring it over in a second. I just have to do a little work on the fuel inlet from the driver's side and from the passenger side. Huh. That's pretty cool, though. A lot of views. A lot of views for old John Hunter. And over 1 million subscribers. That's pretty crazy. Good on him. Alright. So, let's see. Let us see. Anything else? Anything else? Project-wise, I think that's about it. I have the Coca-Cola car that I'm getting, that I'm going to be sending out in the not too distant future. I have Moobs' car that I'm going to be working on. I have my... Oh, I also have these. Well, hold on. Let me finish this, and then we can just jump all 100% into what I'll be working on. Aside from finishing Cody's last 10 cars. I do have to finish Cody's last 10. Because that, we are so near the end of the road. I have to finish making the decals for Carl Edwards' 2015 Coca-Cola 600 victory. No. For my wife's cousin. I need to get cracking on that March, April, May. So I got like 3 months to finish it, which it shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to order the box today or tomorrow. At least I'm going to put the email in. And then I'm going to have to go down and pick them up at some point, maybe on a Saturday. But I have to finish the decals, send them out to get made, paint the car, decal the car. Oh, I gotta buy the decals, the Coca-Cola bottle confetti for that. Then other than that, I have a 2002 car that I'm working on. It's a Kyle Busch ARCA series car. I'll show you the decals in a second. Oh, I'm also going to be working on a car for my sister. I don't know if she's watching or not, so I'm not going to say what it is. But that one should be fun. I don't know if I'm going to live stream that one, since it is for, and sometimes she hops in the live streams. Maybe I'll just tell her not to watch it. But give me 1 second. We're almost done with these 4. We'll put those 4 together, and then we'll just chill for the last half hour. 20 minutes, whatever it is. I hope you guys have had fun tonight. I hope you enjoyed the weekend. Back to work tomorrow. Back to school for some of you. Wasn't too crazy of a stream. We didn't have a million people hop in, but we had a good time. So we still got a little bit more time to go. Some people could still join in. But yeah. I'm super excited to get these cars done for Cody. I gotta talk to him. I haven't heard anything in a while about whether he's gonna be racing or not. My hope is that he is. He said he was signing the contract. I haven't really heard much beyond that. So hopefully it all went through. It's a double-edged sword for me, because if it didn't go through, then I don't have to make the cars. But if it did go through, then I do have to make the cars. So hopefully it did. Not that I want to make the cars, but hopefully he can race. Alright, so we'll wrap that up there. That'll be pretty much done with that. Menards. Okay. Alright. So that's that. We'll pull all of these back into frame, and we'll just put them together. Interesting. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Couldn't find them, but I have it. I think I sent the proof there. Alright. No problem. I'll check it out after the stream. Okay. Alright, yeah, I'll give it a look after the stream and check it out. The haulers are cool, aren't they? I've been in the Thor Sport ones, and then I've been in Ryan Sieg's hauler, and then what other haulers have I been in? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I don't really remember. I think we went in Casey Mears's back in the day. Way back in the day. Love the drivers and trolling is very funny. They have a good time. As long as everybody has a good time with it, I think it's fine. You know, if they get annoyed with it and you guys keep doing it, then it's obviously annoying. But if they're having a good time with it and kind of giving some back to you a little bit, then it's a good time. It seems like most of them are pretty normal people too. Like they don't get too upset about that sort of stuff, or that they wouldn't get too upset about that sort of stuff. Because it is kind of a weird thing. Like NASCAR drivers aren't what they used to be. Most of them are bajillionaires. They have a lot of money. So they're kind of out of touch with normal people. The only one that got mad was Austin Hill. I told him to stop wrecking people and crying. Well, I could understand why he would not take too kindly to that statement. But like Braden just said, that does absolutely sound like Austin Hill. I mean, I can't imagine most people in the garage like him. I don't know. I don't want to pass judgment, but I can't see many people liking him, and I have a feeling that's why he's still in an O'Reilly car and not in a Cup car. But yeah, that's kind of funny. The one guy that I know on the Ryan Sieg team, he, after the race at Watkins Glen last year, he ran down pit road to yell at Austin Hill and told him to stop wrecking people too. So I know one story of that in the garage personally from experience. But yeah, Cole felt weird because I told him to... Cole Custer, I'm assuming. That is pretty funny. Yeah, because normally people like fangirl over drivers and stuff, and you guys are just there to screw around, so I feel like that's kind of funny. I respect it. Alright, so this one, let's see. So this is a little trick, I guess. I put sweet almond cheese spread on my cars. No, just kidding. This is Future Floor Wax. I think we talked about this. Before. But this is that pledge stuff. This helps fix any like imperfections in the clear coat. It fills it in and fixes any problems with the clear. And it's also what I use to clear the wheels and the windshields of the 164 cars. So I just gotta touch these up a little bit to fix them, because when you put the windows in them, sometimes the clear gets a little bit messed up. But nothing a little floor wax can't fix. So we'll just do that, and then we'll put these away. Little tiny tricks to the trade here. This one really gave me a headache yesterday. Some of these cars aren't perfect, and it kind of annoys me, but nothing is perfect. Hannah Montana taught me that. All right. I can't say about Matty. He doesn't care about fans. He never replies and was very quiet when See, that's unfortunate. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if you're in a position like that, you should be good to your fans. I'm sure you get a lot of annoying people too. I'm sure that's a thing. But come on, you're not like working for a living. Yeah, you're racing cars, but like that's not working. It's like playing soccer for a living. A lot of these players, they complain, or football, or whatever sport. It's not really work. You're in the best physical shape of your life. You have all the resources possible. You get paid millions of dollars for playing a sport. Like, what do you have to complain about? And why do you have to be mean to your fans? I don't know. Maybe it's because I've never been in that position that I don't understand it, but I just don't understand why they, and I get you can't sign every single, he was the only person you never trolled. Yeah, I get it. You can't like sign every single autograph. You have to leave at some point, but like, I don't know, just, it seems weird to me. Seems weird to me that people would be negative in those instances. Like they literally have everything. But that's just me. So, yeah. I'm surprised if we're gonna take a look at the poll really quickly. Nobody said fried pickles was their side of choice. French fries with a slight 4-3 advantage over onion rings. If you haven't, throw your vote in the poll, and if you have an other vote, tell me what it is. We got one comment about a different side, soft pretzels, but the vote was not cast in the other category. But yeah, I guess since we're kind of towards the end of the stream-ish, I'll talk about the Premier League a little bit. We don't have to get too far into it. If you listen carefully, fried pickles sounds like primary. We don't want to really get anywhere near that. We kind of want to steer clear of that. If you know, you know. If you don't know, just give it a Google. Give it a quick search on the internet. We're going to stay clear of that. Fun fact. I saw him win in person at Michigan in 2009. So there is that. But that's all I will say about that subject matter. As far as the Premier League goes, the unfortunate news of the weekend is Arsenal won today. I knew West Ham was not going to beat Liverpool. I was just disappointed that it was 5-2. I thought they played better than 5-2. I also turned it off after it was 2-0 because I was working on stuff and I just wasn't really paying attention to it. So, West Ham losing at Anfield 5-2 was a little disappointing. But the good news of the weekend, Fulham beat Tottenham and Brighton beat Forest. So West Ham did not lose any ground on the guys ahead of them. Hear me out. Best food menu is chicken tenders, fries, and I'm going to say no. I will not be hearing you out on that. And then the other news, I guess, is Manchester United beating Crystal Palace today, 2-1. That was the other good news. So they hopped up into third, leapfrogging Aston Villa, who lost to Wolves on Friday. Disappointing, I know. Because I was really hoping that they would challenge for the title. Now it's basically a two-team race between Manchester City and Arsenal. City has a game in hand. but I think they're 5 points behind. So they do meet each other later in the season. But yeah, Arsenal's goals today were garbage off of corners, typical Arsenal garbage. They didn't look good. Aside from that, Chelsea didn't look that good either. But yeah, the Crew last night, they drew 2-2. They probably should have won that game. They should have won that game because they missed a penalty, missed a pretty easy header. That we're talking about food again. Favorite dipping sauce. I got a joke. What do you tell someone when they? Oh geez, I don't know, Greg. What is it? My favorite dipping sauce is just buffalo hot sauce, something to that effect. Spicy, something spicy. Oh, we're nearing the end. We're nearing the end. All right, what's the answer to the joke? I'm eagerly awaiting this. Good one. Always here to provide levity for the stream. You know what? Let's we could do this. Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second. Cane sauce or anything close. I mean, I also like the Chick-fil-A sauce. That's pretty good. So I put a bunch of JB Weld to fill in this fuel inlet on the driver's side. This is my Watkins Glen car that we talked about last week. I'll give it a few more days to dry. It's pretty hard, but I'll file this off, sand it down, you'll never even know. And then the passenger side fuel inlet, I got to do a little bit of sanding work on it. But it's pretty close. It's not exact, but I think it's passable. So doesn't look too bad. It'll look better once I sand it down, paint it, prime it, do a little bit of work on it, but overall not too bad. This looks terrible now, but it'll be gone in a little bit. So that's the Ryan Sieg Watkins Glen car. I guess while we're here, there are a lot of good sauces. Sauce makes chicken better. Sauce makes everything better, for the most part. Alright, we'll pull this car back out. So one thing that I didn't do, that I have to do, can you watch me sand it? Probably not. I don't think it would make for that interesting of a stream. I'm gonna do that off stream. So the reason I bought 2 sets of decals is because the roof number from this set of Power Slide has these cutouts in it for the roof camera and the antennas because it's for a model kit, and it didn't match what's on the diecast. So either way, it still looks good how we have it. Dreaming of hot wings tonight. Same. Wings are the best. So what we're gonna do here is we have the Coca-Cola decal. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know if I'm... See how the roof camera goes over top the Coca-Cola decal? Well, on the real car, the decal goes over top of the Coca-Cola decal. So it's a good thing I bought 2 sets of these because I'm going to take this one. Oh, that's hard to see. I'm going to take this one, cut it, and put it over top of this decal. So let's do that real quick. And then let's see. So we're going to be probably to there. Coca-Cola. There. get this right. Sorry, guys. I don't want to mess this up because I only got one chance at it. All right. Yeah, then this will go right over top of that. Looks pretty good. 7 votes. 7 votes in the chat tonight. Thank you guys for participating in our poll question. I'll have to come up with another one for Thursday. I'll think of something. West Ham plays on Wednesday, so maybe it'll be a Premier League centric stream. What am I gonna stream on Thursday for the race preview? Piano tunes, good. I like them as well, but I cannot hear them. Oh, you guys asked about the other cars that I'm working on, or will be working on. Yeah, we got tons and tons and tons of decals. Sauce makes chicken better. Truest thing. Thank you. So this is another car that I'm working on. If you guys remember, the Bobby Labonte Coke Zero car from the 2010 Coca-Cola Coke Zero 400. I don't have a reason to make this car other than I have a car that I need to get rid of, and these decals were available. So I bought them. I've made this car in 164. Now I'm going to make it in 124. So yeah, this is another one that I have decals for that I'm working on. Oh, and then here are Kyle Busch's decals from the ARCA race from 2002. So pretty random car, but I'm making it for my buddy because he's a Kyle Busch fan. Next question should be NASCAR with the keys. That's one thing I really don't look at when they race, especially considering that their heads are inside helmets. But yeah, I'm sure you have an answer to that. What is your answer? Actually, I'll turn that one around on you. What is your answer to that question? I'm interested to know. My guess is probably going to be you're going to say Matt DiBenedetto or something. Austin Dillon, you told him at New Hampshire. Now, I could tell you who the NASCAR driver with the best hair is. That's AJ Allmendinger, but they talk about that all the time. Everybody always talks about AJ's hair. What was his response to you? Probably something funny, I would assume. Yes, they have. Braden, yes, they have. I never thought there would be a time in the NASCAR timeline where I would feel sorry for Kyle Busch, but we are living in that. We are absolutely in the midst of that. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't feel bad in the sense that, like, he's won a ton of races. We should actually feel bad for him, but he hates the new car. He says it with a lot of... I know why he says it, because he drove some of the best cars and he had some of the best times, and now they can't they can't do much of anything. He said thank you. Well, that was nice of him. I'm sure he appreciated that. It's not too often that random people come up to you and compliment your teeth. Yes, AJ is definitely the man. Look at that. Pretty good, no? I'll take it. Montoya used to be the smoking hot jet dryer winner. Jeez. Yeah, he met that jet dryer real quick. That was an all-time event in NASCAR history. He's just not in good equipment as well. Hopefully some new scenery inspire. So, honestly, Kyle might just retire. I could see it. I could see him just retiring. Just calling it, being like, peace, I'm out. I've had a good run. Brexton's coming up through the ranks. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, I got you, Braden. I got you. I understood. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, you idiot. Oh, no. It's over. It's over. I messed it up. Classic move. Classic move. It looked good until it didn't. I will be live for, well, shoot, another 4 minutes. I didn't know what time even it was. About 4 more minutes. This will be the last thing we're going to do. Just finish this up. We'll be back Thursday, though. So if you guys are interested, as always, come back on Thursday. We'll do a preview stream for Phoenix, which I don't really love Phoenix. Never really have. But yeah, we'll do a preview stream for Phoenix, and hopefully you guys will join in. We can all hang out, see what the weekend haps are going to be, see if Reddick's going to go for 4 in a row like a madman. Honestly, at this point, I hope it happens just for the pure spectacle of it. But yeah, I'll be live Thursday, and then we'll do this again next Sunday. So yeah, hopefully you guys had fun tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the racing this weekend. For the most part, it was decent. Mostly in the non-Cup Series. Cup Series was okay. Not great, but okay. And I think that'll do it. I think I'm going to stop messing with this. Because the more I mess with it, the more it gets messed up. So I should just stop and let it dry. Top shelf diecast. Top shelf diecast. I don't know. It sounds familiar. not sure though. I feel like I do. It does sound familiar. All right, there. How's that? Looks pretty good. But yeah, that'll conclude tonight's stream. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just another chill race weekend recap. Reddick makes history, the first driver in the history of NASCAR to win the first 3 races in a row. Still don't understand it, but whatever. So good for him, good for Michael Jordan, good for NASCAR, blah, 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 all that stuff. Congrats to SVG on Saturday. Scott Riggs. Lane Riggs on Friday. Alex Palou in the IndyCar series. So a good race weekend. Again, I appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with me tonight. Spend a few hours together talking about the weekend. So I think we're going to call it there. It's 10 o'clock on the button. So thank you guys. We will catch you on Thursday. Have a nice night, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.